Today, and in the Woodyard, we've got deliveries. We're gonna load them up and we're going to dump. Here we go. My first wood order for today is for 1/4 cord or 1/3 of a cord of maple and a 1/3 of a cord of pine. It's for campfire wood. And so I'm gonna take the wood from right here. So it's as close as I can get the trailer, because I wanna kind of take this section first, because I want to kind of work my way that direction, because all this wood right here that John brought me, this cherry, is going to be stacked right in this area where the maple was. And so it's as close as I can get the trailer, so I got to do some chucking of wood. But I'm a pretty good wood chucker, so here we go. The chucking's beginning right now. A beautiful load of wood is on its way to its new home. That is 1/4 cord or 1/3 of a cord of maple and 1/4 cord or 1/3 of a cord of red pine. Campfire wood, and a lot of you might be thinking, why would anybody buy pine? I sell a lot of pine. People like it for campfires. It snapples, it cracks, it pops, it smells good. Yeah, it burns a little fast, but they're not burning it for heat. They're burning it for enjoyment and for drinking beer and other assorted beverages. So a lot of people, when they buy campfire wood, generally they just want wood. Something that's dry, something that'll burn. And I sell a lot of what people consider junk wood for campfire wood. My cottonwood, aspen, box elder, pine, stuff like that, it all sells. Everything burns, everything sells. Just remember that if you're selling wood. Don't turn away the low grade stuff. There's a lot of people that heat with wood, or people that think of in terms of only for heating, and they think hickory or oak or, you know, the better woods, which do last longer, do put up more heat. But campfire wood, it doesn't matter. They'll buy it, they'll burn it, they'll buy more. Here we go, off to dump. So I was standing up here on my load of wood I'm going to go deliver, and I just kind of looked around. I thought I should do a camera shot of this, because I'm pretty impressed, and I think some of you might be impressed. I got a lot of wood. Even though it's springtime and I've already sold, I don't know, 450, maybe 500 face cords of wood just since last October, and I'll sell another couple hundred this summer. I still have a lot of wood because I keep replenishing the supply. So I'm just going to scan around here so you guys can see. So starting right back here, I've got box elder that I cut down from back here. That stuff needs to be piled. There's pine all through here, down that pile down there with the tarp on it. This is can see something. I can see something. That is box elder. The next tarp over is all cookies. The next tarp way down over there is hickory. This stuff right here is cottonwood, and I guess mostly aspen. And then I've got more down there that is aspen. Way across the way, that is oak, that brighter colored stuff that's stacked. Behind that, there's way back, if you look way back to that far corner back over there, that's a whole truckload of campfire wood, which is, I gotta think here for a second. It is, give me a second, I'll think of it in a minute. I can't think of it right now. There is a whole truckload of oak right there. Back over there is a truckload of oak. Then behind that stuff that's not stacked is a whole truckload of white pine. And oh, that's basswood. I thought of it. That's basswood back there. Then I've got maple right there. That whole section is maple. Then the 2 truckloads of wood that I just got in from John. One's partially cut of maple, and then there's a cherry, my hollow logs, another truckload of oak, and then up there is ash and cottonwood and aspen, kind of a mix of stuff. This back here is all oak in the back. The stuff right along here, there's some pine and more oak and more maple. This over here is all ash. I got a lot of wood. So anyway, oh, did I forget this stuff right here? This stuff right here is mostly cottonwood and aspen. That was all free wood. Mostly everything on this side is free wood that I got. I got a lot of wood. I gotta go dump. Well, as you're about to see, and you can see how slow my trailer dump bed is rising. I forgot to charge my battery. I had been using it quite a bit to dump wood at my brother's. We were doing some cutting and some other jobs I had done. And I had been gone for a few weeks, and I didn't realize how low my battery was until I went to use it. And so it's just barely lifting. It's about as high as it would go. It actually wouldn't even go to full extension. So right there it just stopped. The battery was just dead. And so I couldn't get up all the way, so what I'm doing here is I'm kind of just jerking the truck back and forth and kind of plowing backwards and then hitting the brakes and then pulling forward and hitting the brakes and then pulling forward and hitting the brakes. And my worry was that my battery would be so dead I wouldn't even be able to lower it down and to take the bed down. And so by jockeying back and forth like this, I was able to get the wood out, and I just didn't know what was happening. So I didn't really say anything until I came back there and looked. But I could see it was starting to move down. So the bad thing is I was on a busy street at a short driveway, and I'm sticking out halfway into traffic. So I'm trying to do this while I'm trying to dodge cars and wait for cars to go by, and kind of a circus. Anyway, I got it out just by jerking back and forth and plowing. And so right there, I'm like halfway out into traffic, and I'm trying to get this thing to empty, and there's cars coming, and somebody beat their horn at me. It was just
about another 6 feet, Chris, you'll have her.
But I got it to come out. You can see it starting to go down, and it did go down all by itself. I mean, obviously I had to push the button, but there was just enough juice in the battery that it came down real slow, and I got it to come down. So it was kind of nice because I didn't have to worry about plugging it in or charging it at the guy's house or something. That's one bad thing about my trailer, is that I only have about a dozen or so dumps in it, maybe 14, somewhere in there, 15, and then the battery is dead. And there's really not a lot of warning. You got to kind of keep track. But when you get down to the last 2 dumps, it slows down quite a bit.
And I had a pile of
so anyway, there you go.
Okay.
It's on the ground, and I did get it to go down. We're going to head back and go load up another load of wood.
They wanted something else. So how much is this? This is a half a cord?
It's 2 face cords.
2 face, so there's 4?
So it's 2/3 of a full cord.
2/3 of it. Okay,
yeah,
so a little over half.
A full cord is 3 8-foot by 4-foot rows, gotcha. And then half of that would obviously be a half.
Okay.
And this is 2, so it's 2/3.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I am back in the wood yard, and I've already started throwing some wood in here, and I thought I should record it. So this order that I'm going to film now is for a full cord of everything. The guy told me he wants a potpourri of wood, so I'm just going to bring everything. So I'm putting a little bit behind right now. Then I'm going to put in some box elders right over there. I'm going to throw some of that in. Then I'm going to throw a little bit of ash in. Then I'm going to throw a bunch of maple in. Then I'm going to throw some cherry in, probably. Just a little bit of everything. So, and I know from the past, when I fill my trailer with a full cord that's been measured, all I need to do is fill it completely full with a little bit of a crust to it, and it's a full cord. Because I've filled it so many times with measured piles, I just know what I have to throw in loose and how much it takes to get a full cord. So that's what I'm gonna do. So we're loading right now. there's the load. It is on. That is a full cord, and I got about, I think about a third of a cord or a face cord of ash, and about a third of a cord or a face cord of maple, and then the rest is a mix between pine, and there's some aspen in there, a little bit of cottonwood, not too much. Mainly I got ash and maple, so it should be a good mix for them. And that's the stuff that I could get to easily. I've got stuff way in the back I could have gone for, but it's real low there, and it's been raining for a few days, so I know it would have been super muddy to go in there. So I tried to get the stuff that was basically easy to get at without ripping the yard up. And I've got my battery charger on here. My battery was kind of dead at the last delivery. It got up almost all the way, and then it just started clicking. It was out of juice. It came down fine, so I was able to get it off, but I totally forgot I needed to recharge it because I used it a lot in the last month or so, where I was doing wood with my brothers and some other deliveries, and I just totally forgot to charge it. So it's on now. It'll charge for a couple hours, so it'll be good for this delivery. I don't have to go for about an hour and a half now to my next delivery. So you'll see that coming up next. Do is I'll tip it up, let some of it fall, and I'll pull ahead a little bit, dump a little bit more, and then drop it down.
Okay.
So I can only go so far because of the door there. So.
Socks and shoes.
Forgot I threw this. This is a bundle of kindling. That'll need to sit out for a while because it got outside of the tarps. It got rained on, but it'll
Okay.
like a year old. See how's it doing? Yeah, this is starting to hit ground already. So you guys using this for camping or the backyard or both?
Both.
Yeah.
And inside.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a mix of everything. The top is maple. There's probably a face cord of maple, which is 3/4 of what a fill your rack, and then there's about a face cord, which is a third of a cord of ash, and then the other stuff's just a mix of everything.
Okay.
So for campfire wood, it's going to be great. Basically, it's what I burn. Watch that door so I don't hit the side of your door there. How did it do there? Did it clear?
It cleared.
Okay, good. We can get a little bit more out here. Because when the avalanche comes, it comes fast. little more than half. That's probably good, right?
Yes.
I am back from my last delivery. You saw me do the double dump, and I do that a lot for people. When I get there, I always ask them where their wood is going to go, and a lot of times I try to get it obviously as close as possible. And if they've got two different areas they're going to store their wood in, I will do a double dump like that. I'll dump part of it in one spot and then one in another spot, and I do that because customer service is very important, and the more things you can do like that for customers, the better. It saves them a lot of work. So I always tell them, why make you carry it farther than you have to? So I try to get as close to their storage rack or wherever they're going to store the wood as possible. In this case, it was two different areas, so I split up the load so that it was easier for them, and they really appreciate it. That's how I get a lot of repeat business. They call me instead of the guy that dumps it at the end of the driveway, and I do chit chat with them. I talked about this guy, what he does for his hobbies. He's a Scoutmaster, so my oldest son is in Scout, or was in Scouts. He's an Eagle Scout, so we talked about Scouts for a good 10 minutes or so. So that chit chat's very important to people. Developing a relationship and a rapport with the people, you got to do that. So that is it for today. Please hit the buttons, hit the like, subscribe, the share, all that kind of stuff. And tomorrow we're going to be back here. I got this pile, I've got that pile, I've got the big hollow logs, I've got this that needs splitting. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe we'll just do it all. Come on back and we'll find out. You can see what we're going to do tomorrow. That's it for today. Get outside, get cutting. And if you see Irene, tell her I said good night.